Hello and welcome to the IWBF YouTube channel. We're here live in Guadalajara and we've got a really exciting match ahead. It's been a great day here so far. We saw Germany take down Angola, followed by Spain taking down Thailand. Next up, we've got Colombia facing Australia. It's going to be a really exciting game. My name's Isha and I'm alongside Siobhan Fitzpatrick. So Siobhan, great day so far. Even better game ahead of us.
Yeah, I think we couldn't ask for a better start to this tournament. Both games that we've seen previously this morning, all four teams showcasing why they deserve to be here at this repechage. And I'm excited to see this game purely because Australia have had a regrowth as well and they've brought some new players in. Thailand actually beat them twice at the Osaka Cup, which shows you the talent. However, they are now back to full strength. Hannah Dodd is now back from Europe to join that. She's a key component in that team. So it'll be interesting to see how they now compete at a tournament of this level. And as for Colombia, I don't know too much about them, so it'll be interesting to see how they start a game and how they can display their wheelchair basketball here this afternoon.
Yes, starting five just coming out now for Australia. It is Sarah Vinci at number 4. Laura Devoli at 10. Shelley Matheson at 12. We have Georgia Monroe Cook at number 8. And Hannah Dodd at 6. For Colombia, it will be Lisette Alvarez at number 5. Karen Duenes at 20. And jump ball is on the way. We'll get back to the starters in a minute. But Australia are the ones who won the jump ball. So Australia can kick off the game scoring here. As they get that first bucket to go. Monroe Cook wasted no time there getting off the mark. What a great way to open the game scoring.
Yeah, the Cookie, known her for a long time, and she's really developed throughout the game. She's now a dominant forward within the Australian setup. They had a couple of players retire off the back of them not qualifying for the Tokyo Paralympic Games.
Yes.
But not qualifying for Paris Games, sorry, not Tokyo. And yeah, she's really showing her talent now for that side.
So it is a Colombia ball. Just as Australia do come up with it, they get a hand on that pass. It is Hannah Dodd with the ball now. Finds Monroe Cook inside. She wastes no time there. Can't get to go. Gets it on rebound. Again, can't get it. Tried to get the rebound, didn't work. And I think we got some chairs stuck together. But just go back to Colombia. Their starters, it will be Lisette Alvarez at number 5. Lady Gonzalez at 11. Gladys Gomez at 14. Karen Duenes at 20. And Karen Barreto at 26. So it will be a Colombia ball now from the baseline. As they'll look to answer back to Australia's score. Lissa.
Interesting to see as well, Australia putting on a full court press to start this first quarter. Potentially what the defence they may be using throughout the whole tournament as well.
Vinci finds Monroe Cook inside. Monroe Cook wastes no time again. Just sinking that one in. And Colombia now will look to push. As Gomez tries to get one off there. Is fouled on the shot. And I think Vinci did go down hard there. So
yeah, and he potentially hit her head as well. So to definitely take her time getting up back into her chair.
So Physio just gone onto call, helping her up. As she is back up, which is good to see. And Physio will exit.
And she will have a substitution as well, which I think is a sensible thing to do. She doesn't look like she's hurt herself too much, but I think this early on in the stage, get herself checked out by the physio, just make sure she hasn't hit her head. We don't want her to, carry on playing and potentially then miss the rest of the tournament.
Definitely, as we see Isabel Martin check in for the first time. Does Colombia have it now? Gomez over to Alvarez. Alvarez lines up for a shot. A little too heavy that time. The ball will roll out of bounds. I mean, we've seen some great games so far here today. And we talk about tournaments like this. Obviously, there's a lot of things to adjust to, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you've got baskets that some of the teams, like Australia will be used to playing on the showerweeds, but not necessarily Colombia, which is a huge difference. Obviously, big glass backboard as opposed to maybe a traditional basket that you would see in normal sports halls. The floor, as we've mentioned in previous games, good flooring, but many lines. The white lines that you see that we are playing are actually taped over the original floor lines of this court. The court has been made specially for this tournament.
There's Monroe Cook has it inside. Can't get that one to fall, but she is fouled in the shot, so she'll take a trip to the charity stripe. She's already got 4 points. I mean, she's had all of Australia's points so far. Really early on, we can already tell she's going to be just such a presence inside.
Yeah, and I think it's really important for her to use this game to gain that confidence. She's a player that's been around for a long time, but it's probably struggled a little bit with her confidence to be that dominant forward. And if she can use games like this morning to get rid of the nerves, ready for the rest of the tournament, and she's showcasing it here now.
Yeah, she gets that first one to drop. Gets the second one to drop as well. And obviously, really experienced player playing in that Tokyo 2020 Olympics. As Gomez has it now, over to Alvarez. Just a step out of bounds there, just as you said about the lines before.
Yeah, and I think it's happened to every single team now, so it's not just a advantage for offense or defense, which does happen sometimes, and it's also happened in the mid-court as opposed to at the key. So the referee in the previous game did call a technical foul, but it did happen a couple of times for them to have that warning. But I know myself as a player, I would definitely struggle at staying within the court.
Yeah, a lot of things to adjust to. So Matheson has it over to Monroe Cook again. Monroe Cook sinks that one, nothing but net.
Yeah, just really important for her as a player to be scoring both inside and outside. As one of the key players for Australia, the ability to be able to get hot inside the key and outside the key is definitely going to be a positive aspect for her as she grows throughout this tournament.
Yeah, she's just making it look easy out there. As Alvarez has it for Colombia. Seeing what's available. Over to Gomez. Gomez now just directing a team back to Alvarez. Ball is loose and shot clock is called.
I think we've noticed that with some of the other teams that aren't maybe as experienced of playing at a tournament of this level, they are getting some shot clock violations, not because they're not necessarily in their half court, but their awareness of the game and the ability that it is 24 seconds. They may not play to shot clock as often in training and things like that.
Yes.
So I think that's definitely something that they can grow after this first day to be more shot clock aware.
As we see a timeout being called now by Colombia, let's have a listen in, see what their head coach, Oscar Amaya, is saying.
Ahí tuvimos el tiro, tenemos que voltearlo muy rápido y vuelve y vuelve. Y dice, vamos, llevamos 4. No se afanen, si tiene que frenar, trabajar el balón y descargar, lo descarga. Gladys, ojo porque nos está quedando en el codo la grande lanzadora. Ahorita la cerraron bien, pero pilas con eso. Es con el, por ahí nos ha metido.
As teams coming out now of the timeout. Obviously, we heard Colombia's timeout there. Head coach Oscar Bruno's just saying, just to directing them as we'll see Colombia. Sorry, it won't be a Colombia ball, it'll be Australia ball coming out this timeout now. So we'll have 24 to get something off here. Monroe Cook. She's going to work. Looking for Gunn. Apologies, Devoli. Devoli settles on the shot. She sinks that one, nothing but net. I mean, Australia's shooting so far, it has been perfect, really.
Absolutely, and she was really smart there to use the screen properly to protect her from the defensive pressure and just knock down those 2 points.
Yes, Colombia wasted no time in getting down the floor. There is a big block there from Monroe Cook, just swatting that ball out of bounds. And she really just does have that kind of height advantage and that lengthy wingspan, doesn't she?
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't do a lot about that if you are that Colombian player. Great job for her to even get underneath the basket to take that shot attempt, and she did now. They now do keep possession.
Yes, Gomez has it over to Gonzalez, but a little too far out of bounds that time. So Australia will have another chance to extend their lead. They're up by 10. Just around 6 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in this first quarter of action. As Australia getting that ball in. Martin. Back to Devoli. Devoli, travel called there. You could see she kind of knew on her face.
Sometimes you know in yourself, and I'm sure you've done it in the running game as well, you know it's a travel, but you just look at the ref and be like, please let me get away with it. But again, for her, fairly new into the senior world, of wheelchair basketball, has featured in a couple of tournaments, just gaining that experience of ball handling with international referees and things like that too.
Yeah, so Colombia back on the other end now, looking to get them first points of the game. As Gonzalez has it. Back to Alvarez. Alvarez trying to find Duenas there. Can't get it to go. So Australia will look to push. Matheson has it. Matheson just open lane there. She'll take it up and a foul is called. But Matheson did a good job there of just reading what the defense were doing.
Yeah, Shelley Matheson, a huge impact for the Australian side. Retired at one point, came out of retirement.
Apologies, there was an offensive foul called on that one. But as you say, real impactful player. Don't know what game we were watching, but
she's still an impactful player. She has now just turned over the ball, so we'll go with the same we previously said.
Yeah.
She did retire from the game. She then came back, went away, came back, and it just brings that experience. Yes, on court with their skill level, but also the leadership, the ability to help these young players find their feet, but probably not appropriate, which was find their wheels within the sport, and just gain that their experience and learn from her. When she's been to Paralympics, she's been to World Championships, she's gained gold medals, silver medals, you name it, she's got it. So what a fantastic player for these young players to be around. Yeah. Both not just for Australia either. Like if other teams can see her as well playing.
There's Hannah Dodd there just getting the score on this end. Back down to the other end now. Referees just discussing a foul. The foul was on Australia, so Colombia will retain possession. They'll have 16 to get something up here. And it is stolen by Georgia Monroe Cook. And Australia off to races. Stolen though by Barreto. She can look to push. Ball slowed down. Looking there for Duenas inside. Couldn't get it to go. And now Matheson will look to push. Dodd back over to Matheson. Matheson to Monroe Cook. Is she going to think about it? Finds Davoli inside. Can't get it to fall though. It is rebounded and Monroe Cook will have a shot this time. She sinks that one. And Georgia Monroe Cook, she's wasted no time to get off the mark today.
Yeah, she looks so composed in her shot as well. Able to, it just helps. She has a huge height advantage, but she is taking that extra half a second to get that shot off.
As just a fall out of bounds there. As we'll see some substitutions for Australia. As we will see Sarah Houston check into the game for the first time alongside Ebony Stevenson and Taisha Ovens. So Monroe Cook has it now. Wastes no time in line up for that one.
Not bad either. Good, always good to take those early on in the game.
There's an offensive foul is called.
Yeah, very smart play there by one of the coaches to stop her chair. Tactical, just showing her experience as well within the game.
So it will be an Australia ball again. Australia can just look to add on to their lead. As they'll have a fresh 14 now to get something off. Morocco looking for Stevenson there, but Colombia do get a hand on it. And Gomez will look to push the break. Gomez 1 against 2 right now. She'll take the shot, can't get it to fall. But it's not a bad look. Monroe Cook.
No, they're definitely getting some really good opportunities. But when you've got Cook trailing, you're ready for the swap, it's difficult to get that shot off. But again, another game where the scoreboard isn't necessarily reflecting how hard Colombia are playing, both offensively and defensively.
Yeah, as a foul was called on the floor there. For Australia, some good ball movement so far. They'll get the ball from the baseline. They'll have 14 to get something up. As ball's passed in, Monroe Cook lines up for the shot. Unfriendly bounce, but is rebounded by Martin. Australia can reset. Monroe Cook has it. Stevenson. Little short that time, but cleaned up by Gomez that time. Gomez, she'll look to push. They safely get the ball over. Gonzalez over to Alvarez. Alvarez back to Gomez. Shot clock winding down. They're going to have to put something up. And sinks it. The deep 2. Big shot there from Gomez. Just kicking off the game, scoring for Colombia. As they'll look now to try and get a stop on the other end. Monroe Cook. Out to Martin. Apologies, Stevenson. Stevenson inside now. Extra pass to Houston. Houston will settle for it. Swish again. Every time Australia shoot the ball, it's like the ball doesn't even hit the rim, just goes straight through the net. As ball rolls out of bounds. And timeout is called. This time by Australia. So as the teams head back to their benches, we'll hear from Australia, from Australia's coaches and see what they have to say in this timeout. In a second we will. They're just talking things over before that one.
Good job. We're going to get home on defence, so there's no need to, obviously we're in control, which is the thing that we are, so way to respond. Offensively, let's set up like this in our 3-2. Izzy will get you to go low. Huey, you're going to start over here. I love that up pick, and you got rewarded for it. That was excellent. Lou, just take time. You're not going to have that ball pressure. Ebb and Tace, just like in WA, pick and roll. Let's go.
And we could hear that Australia head coach Jeremy Sinott just talking to his team, telling them, this is what we're trying to do, saying defensively they are in control and that's what they want to be. So teams coming back out now, as it will be an Australia ball. They'll look to kind of implement coaches' tactics now into this offense. Let's see if they can do it. Houston has it. Stevenson, long pass over to Lucinda Boetti. She's into the game for the first time. Boetti has it, long pass over, back to Stevenson. Gonna have to put something up here. Stevenson inside to Ovens. Oven gets one off. Little short that time. It was rebounded by Houston, but ball didn't hit the rim.
Shot didn't hit the rim, so fortunately shot clock violation. And we have to hear that horn again.
Yep. But Colombia did come up with it. Foul's called on the floor this time. So they'll have a fresh 14 from the baseline. But we will see some substitutions first. In a second. Okay, there you go. Players have realised now. So we'll see some substitutions for Colombia, as we'll see Yuli Quasino check into the game for the first time. Gomez has it. Gomez wastes no time to settle for that one. Had the line, but a little short. It is cleaned up by Australia. Boetti. Ball just maybe a bit of a miscommunication there. So ball does go out of bounds, and Colombia now will have a chance to capitalise off this turnover. Barreto. Back to Gonzalez. Gonzalez to Gomez. Gomez has it. Finds Gonzalez. Over to Barreto. Barreto's going to shoot that one. Means a good look. Couldn't
Really
get to
good
goal
look.
though.
They just haven't got the shooter's role and touch.
As ball was loose, Australia turned it over, but play stopped.
Yeah, that's a bit of a tough tumble for her to take there as well on the floor. She is able to get herself back up.
So, Colombia ball from the sideline, just under a minute to go here in this first quarter. Colombia trail by 14.
But like you previously said, they are getting the good looks, they are getting some great opportunities, the ball's just not dropping for them.
So, Gomez will control it for Colombia. Gomez, she's down low. Shot clock is winding down. She'll settle on the shot and she'll sink that one. And there you go. I mean, the shots are falling.
There.
Commentator's blessing.
Yeah, true.
So Australia now, they can use the clock a bit here. 5 seconds between shot and game clock as Boetti controls it. Finds Stevenson down low. And Stevenson will sink that one. Great shot from her. So Colombia now, they can use the rest of the clock and get a quick one up to go into the second quarter. Gomez. That was a little hung one. It looked good for a minute from here.
It was really good. It was probably far away, but from our angle, it looked like it was straight towards the basket and going to drop in. But a great display there for the last kind of couple of minutes from Colombia, and a clinical performance from Australia so far.
Yeah, it certainly had the line. So teams now got 2 minutes to talk things over. We're going to just hear from Colombia's head coach, Oscar Munoz, really quickly.
Hey, niña, excelente la presión. Excelente la presión. ¿Listo? Sí. Hay que seguir presionando, hay que seguir hablando. ¿Sí? Mira, ojo, cuando Gladys sale a presionar a la primera jugadora, venga, nosotros también, si tenemos jugadoras atrás, subamos la defensa y tenemos que estar ahí. Ojo, Nata, tú tienes la tuya, pero cuando hay que hacer el cambio, pedimos el cambio. No nos afanemos, no nos afanemos. ¿Listo? El mismo trabajo. Julie, pínchala ahí. Liz, mira lo que hiciste ahorita. Querías entrar. No. Si ya Gladys sigue trabajando, ajústale porque no va a poder. Pero ahí está bien, China. Vamos, que ya está bien. Vamos a seguir defendiendo de esa manera. Bueno, la actitud ante todo. Vamos.
It's good to see there the assistant coach as well. He plays wheelchair basketball. He's been known well within club basketball and for his country. So good to see him contributing to the women's game as well. But from what I could tell a little bit from what he was saying with my limited Duolingo language, was he was very impressed with their improvement of their defensive pressure. And I think it's more of a case of taking their time on their offense. They are getting the opportunities, but can they just shoot with a little bit more height to get that ball to drop?
Yeah, excellento pressure, indeed. Something
Exactly.
like along
Yeah,
the lines
I
of that.
think
what you
that
said.
was, yeah.
But yeah, as you said, I mean, a lot of these games, so the score doesn't necessarily reflect how they played, and the coach, as you say, he just hit the nail on the head because they have been putting on the pressure. They've done a good job at restricting this Australian side to only 18 points.
Yeah, unfortunately, their offensive scores haven't reflected keeping a team like Australia's on 18 points. But I do think it will start happening for them now. They've got the first quarter nerves out of the way, and they can just go now and know that they can hold a team like Australia to 18 points now. They just need to get some more points on the board.
So team just coming out now. First fives, and it will be a Colombia possession to start up this third quarter. Apologies, not third quarter, second quarter of action. The ball is in. Alvarez wastes no time on that one. Had the line. Unfriendly bounce, unfriendly roll. So Australia will look to push. Matheson weaving away in. Ball just roll out of bounds there. It will be an Australia ball. They'll have 12 seconds to put something up here. Dodd to pass it in. Into Devoli. Devoli has space. And she'll sink that one. And, I mean, Australia's shooting today. It's been phenomenal, hasn't it?
Absolutely. Every opportunity they've had. But they do have the ability to take their time and get the correct shot off, which was going to feed their confidence going throughout the tournament. If they can have a really clinical offensive game today, it will help them as they progress throughout this tournament.
Yes, Gomez kicks over to Alvarez. Back to Gomez. They have to get something up. Gomez fires that one. But Australia come up with it. Boetti over to Matheson. Matheson pushing the ball now. She decides to slow things down. Finds Boetti, but ball just slipped through her hands there. So Colombia will have a chance. They can capitalise off this turnover. His player is helped up there. We'll see some substitutions as we see Ebony Stevenson check back into the game for Australia, and Shelley Matheson will take a rest. Alvarez. Ball's loose, manages to keep a hold of it, only just rolls out of bounds there. That's an unlucky one, that. So just under 9 minutes to play here in this second quarter. Colombia are trailing. Australia can look to extend their lead. There's great pass there inside, but Devoli can't get it to drop that time. So Gomez look to push. Gomez has some space. Over to Alvarez. Alvarez trying to find a lane here. Connects with Gomez. Gomez settles for the shot. A little too much spin on that one. But Barreto will secure it. They'll have a fresh 14. Gomez. Shot clock winding down. Another good look from her. But Australia do secure the ball this time. So they'll look to push. Devoli. Slowing things down. Nice little pass there to Dodd. Back to Devoli though. Devoli finds Gunn. Gunn to Boetti on the wing. And a shot clock violation is called. And I mean, what a great defensive possession that was by Colombia.
I definitely think there's definitely been an improvement with their defensive pressure to force Australia kind of outside of their key. It is to note that their two Australian forwards now are on the bench, so they haven't got to worry necessarily about the height difference and they can just work on chair contact. Hopefully now they can capitalise on their offence as well.
Yeah, as Shelly Matson back into the game as Gomez brings it up for Colombia. Gomez looking for some space. Takes the time trying to line up for one here. Australia's hands all over that one. And a 3-second violation is called. So Australia will get possession. Matheson. She has some space. Finds Devoli inside though. Great pass there. Can't get it to drop. But Boetti comes out of nowhere for that rebound. Out to Matheson. They can reset. Devoli intercepted there by Gomez. And Colombia's defense it's been exceptional so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, can't fault them. They've definitely got speed and technical ability with their chairs, which is great to see.
There's Australia getting interception there. Devoli has it now. Settles on the shot.
And every single player there from Colombia on defense was outside of the key, so it does make it harder then for Australia to get those easier shots off.
Let's see if they can capitalise now at the other end. As Gonzalez has it. Matson able to get a hand on it though. Colombia will retain possession, but only have 8 seconds on that shot clock now, as we'll see Dienez check into the game for Colombia. Just over 6 minutes here to go in the second quarter of action. Got a bit of a crowd filling up in here. Great to have some support out there. And shot clock violation is called. And yes, if you can hear a train, a sound similar to a train horn at home, it is the shot clock that is going off. As Matheson will look to push for Australia. Matheson taking a time here. Finds Boetti at the top. Back to Matheson though. Nice little dump off there into Hannah Dodd.
Really showing her experience as well there, not rushing to take that outside shot, knowing what may come if she just holds position and gets that pick from Dodd, who's had a fantastic couple of seasons playing for Germany in the men's league out there.
There's Colombia did have the ball, but it will go in the way of Australia. And it can be really tempting sometimes, to kind of get up a quick shot. So, maybe for Colombia, do you think they might need to kind of take a look at some of Australia's possessions and see if they can take some inspiration from that?
Yeah, I think so, but I think it's slightly different with Colombia in terms of they're getting some shot clock violations. For me, I'll be taking some earlier shots just to see if any shots will start to drop for them. Australia are in the comfortable position where the scoreboard's on their side and they can afford to take a little bit of extra time.
As Devoli wastes no time in sinking that one. And there's some really beautiful shots from Australia here, just nothing but net every time as Alvarez looking to push. An offensive foul is called. Great positioning there from the Australian side. So we will see some substitutions now. We'll see 5 on 5 off for Australia. We'll see Sarah Houston check back into the game. Georgia Monroe-Cook. Marianne Leitu. Ebony Stevenson. And Sarah Vinci.
I think Leitu's had to come to the bench purely because of classification. I think the coach might have thought he might be able to do 5 for 5. They have now had to substitute a Yeah, she's a 2-point player. They've swapped her out for a 1-point player, so they must have been over points. I do still think she's, a player that's been playing for a long time. I do think she'll see the floor very soon. But it does show the depth of Australia as well. They can rotate their bench 5 for 5.
So, they're not going to press. What's that? Okay. Let's run a power a couple of times, see whether we can exploit it. Let's get GMC over here, and we'll run Ebb down here for the pick and roll. Let's see where we can get Umaga high on. Huey, we're going to try you for a double sequential, okay? That's what we're going to try. Up, pick, up, pick. She's on the small, let her rip. Okay, let's go.
Let her rip. That is the advice from Australia head coach Jeremy Synott.
Yeah, I'm sure if he listens to that back, he probably wouldn't have meant to use that terminology. But I understood what he meant. He's splitting the 2 forwards at the top of the key, 2 up picks from down low to try and get the forwards one-on-one. But however, I don't necessarily think, he wants to do set plays for later on, but I think they'll be able to just drive into the key.
So it will be an Australia ball. And he'll look to implement that advice from head coach Synott. So Monroe Cook has it. Wastes no time in line up for a shot. Can't get the line on that one though. So Colombia can push now. On the other end, Gomez. She takes her time now. Trying to find some space. Shot clock is winding down. She gets the shot off, can't get to full, but does get her own rebound, and ball's loose. Manages to rip it though. Fresh 14. Gonzalez has it. She'll take that shot and she'll sink that one. Great play there from Colombia. There's Monroe Cook. Can set things up for Australia. Over to Houston there. Houston in. Stevenson can't get to drop. There will be Batista pushing it for Colombia. Batista to Duenas. Duenas over to Batista. But ball's loose. Australia managed to save it.
That's really unfortunate. She did all that hard work trying to get the ball and then got the ball stuck on a wheel and tipped herself out.
As play will continue as Colombia looks to capsize on the other end now. 5-on-4 situation. Gomez. Gonzalez has it, back to Gomez. Gomez settles on the shot and she sinks that one. The bank is open for Gladys Gomez. So there's just some time now to allow player to get back into a chair. Just under 3 minutes here to go left in this first half of action. Colombia do trail, but they have restricted Australia's scoring just to 6 points this quarter.
Yeah, much better defensive display by Colombia. Also showed that they scored a basket there where there was an Australian player out. Can they maybe potentially get a man out and gain a 5-on-4 going forward in their offense?
There's Ovens. Looks for that one. Can't get to ball. Stevenson cleans it up though. They'll reset. Into Ovens. Ovens. She sinks that one. Great cut there from her. Barreto, an 8-second violation. So Australia's defense now kind of upped intensity. So if you're Colombia, how are we going to look to get scores on the other end now?
For me, the fact they were able to score when they were 5-on-4, how can they use that to their advantage? Can they get a man out? Can they maybe get 2 to stop 1 to then drive off into the offensive end? Or is it a case of setting up in a 2-man game? I do think they do have, if they can show such a strong defensive display, they've definitely got the ability to also do the same offensively. I think it's more of a case of them believing in their ability.
Monroe Cook can't get that one to fall. And we did see Corsino check back into the game. And Australia will make some subs now, as now we do see Marianne Leitu check into the game for the first time alongside Shelley Matheson. Monroe Cook looking for space, finds her way through. Off the back iron that time. Gomez. She'll look to push. Finds Duenas. Over to Gomez. Gomez looking for some room. Gets the shot off and manages to get her own rebound. And for Australia, they've let Colombia get a lot of offensive rebounds and able to capitalize off that one. Matheson now. Matheson finding a way through there. Monroe Cook has it.
Yeah, late call there by the referee. Definitely 3 seconds. I think Stevenson was questioning whether to make that pass or not for slightly too long into Monroe Cook.
So Duenas will have it, gives it to Gomez to push it. Gomez finds a cutting. Gonzalez can't get the first one, tries to get on rebound, but Australia do score it this time. Leitu. Matheson finds Stevenson, but foul's called on the floor. So Australia can keep it. Just 37 seconds left in this second quarter now. Ovens will be the one to pass it in. Ovens finds Monroe Cook. Monroe Cook back over to Stevenson there, and they'll sing that one. Great play there from Australia. Gonzalez, or Gomez, apologies. Over to Gonzalez. There's an 8-second violations called. Was it 8-second violation?
There was only 13 seconds on the shot clock. However, they were to do with the replay.
Oh, and just as the replay, the referees is just out of frame. So Australia can look to hold the ball for the rest of this quarter and get the final shot off. Monroe Cook finds Matheson inside. Matheson can't get it to drop. Colombia will secure the ball. And that'll do it for the first half of action. Australia currently on top, 28 points, 2-10. And I mean, I think this game, yes, the points don't necessarily reflect how the game's gone, but I think it's probably a surprising result for some people.
100%. I think it's Colombia's defense has definitely been the star of the second quarter to hold, maybe towards the back end of the quarter, but for the majority of that second quarter. What were they, 6 points with a couple of minutes to go? Australia only scored 6 points. So a huge accolade to them to be able to keep a team like Australia to those points. Just need to get themselves going offensively, and I think they could, be back into the game. For Australia, started really strong. They did rotate their bench, which, this is the game to do that in as well. So it is difficult sometimes to judge a team's performance when they are rotating so frequently. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Australia do progress, one, throughout this game and throughout the tournament, and if they do stick to just that same 5 dominance with, the 2 forwards with their height and dominance inside the key.
Yeah, so I mean, for Colombia, they only scored 4 points in that first quarter, but in the second they were able to score 6. Already we're seeing improvement from them.
100%, and I think the ability when they had the 5-on-4 numerical advantage got to the 2 points how can they use their defensive pressure and their speed now to gain that advantage again more frequently for their offence. They may not know how to do that at the moment. That might not be, as part of their development within the game of wheelchair basketball. But hopefully as the tournament goes on, it will be a skill set they add to their game.
Yeah, and so for Colombia, I mean, it was Gladys Gomez leading the way, their captain. She had 6 points for them. And Lady Gonzalez following close behind with 4 points. And for Australia is Georgia Monroe Cook, which I'm sure is no surprise to anyone. She's leading the way with 10 points. And also contributing is Laura Devoli with 6 points to herself. So it is now half time. Australia leading the way, they're up by 18. And we're going to have around 12 minutes now break in between. Teams can go and talk things over. But for viewers at home, take these 10 minutes, go get a drink, go get a cake or something. But make sure you tune back in 12 minutes. And yeah, we'll take you through the second half. See you in a bit. Don't forget, only we listen to ourselves like every single word. Yeah, no, I know. But you wouldn't even say. And it will be Australia to have the ball to open the quarter. Matheson. Wasting no time in getting off the marks. Into Monroe Cook. Great pass. Can't get it to fall. And it is cleaned up by Colombia. They'll look to push. Duenes. Some tough pressure from Matheson. Gomez. Gomez has it. Shot clock is winding down. And 24-second violation. That's a great defensive possession from Australia to open the half, innit?
Yeah, much better defensive pressure there from Australia. Keeping them Colombia outside of the key. Good offense play. Unfortunately, Monroe Cook can get that layup to drop. But great job by Vinci to be able to get her underneath that basket as well.
Yes, Australia can capitalise now on the other end, add to that lead. As Monroe Cook has it, back to Matheson. Matheson going to work. Nice little dump off there, inside to Devoli. She gets that one to go. And just already some great stuff from Australia.
Yeah, I think they needed to get that first half out of the way, get used to the court. I know we've said it to all other teams, but it is the first day of a tournament. It is different. They've obviously travelled a long way as well to be here.
As Gomez will slow things down for Colombia. Over to Alvarez. Back to Gomez. Shot clock winding down again. Gonna have to get something up. Gomez fires. That one's off the rim. Australia can push now. Devoli. Devoli looking for something. Over to Monroe Cook. Monroe Cook lines it up a little short that time, but she is fouled. She'll take a trip to the charity stripe.
I like that you call it that. That's nice.
Charity stripe, yeah.
I like that.
Credit to John Hobbs for that one, I'm not going to lie.
Might be listening back when he's in Thailand.
So, Monroe Cook sinks the first one, adding on to her total. She has 11 points in the game now. And she sinks a second, nothing but net, just as it has been all day for her. 12 points in the game so far. And Colombia now. Gonzalez. Finds Barreto. Back to Alvarez. Alvarez looking for something. Finds Duenes cutting inside. Good luck for her, can't get it to fall. Monroe Cook. Monroe Cook slowing things down a bit. She has some space. She'll go through and ball's swiped by Barreto and a foul. And a foul is called. So Monroe Cook will take another trip to the line. And again, if she can she can look to add on to her total.
First one isn't good for her. Good with the second. Really nice shot technique from Monroe as well. It seems to go up and over straight through the net.
Yes, Colombia now will look to capitalise on the other end. Long pass over to Alvarez. Alvarez finds Gomez. And Gomez will look to set things up for them. Duenes. The ball is knocked out of bounds that time. So Australia now look to extend their lead. Sorry, not league. Monroe Cook. Australia currently up by 23. Matheson. Matheson waiting patiently here. And ball is knocked out of bounds. So Australia will keep possession. They'll have 5 seconds to get something up here, though. Can Colombia stop them from getting a shot up? And they do, and she sinks that one.
What a fantastic shot there from Monroe Cook.
Deep shot from her, and
yeah, it doesn't really need to have to take too many outside shots. She has had a couple of three-point attempts as well earlier in that first half. So definitely a player that has the ability to play inside out. But I do think this unit, this five that Australia do have now on the floor, really do work well together and have shown both defensively with their press and offensively what they are capable of doing.
yes, Duenas has an open lane there. Monroe Cook was able to get in the way, forcing that miss, but Colombia do come up with it. Gonzalez can't get that one to fall. Just get her own rebound though, and Colombia can reset again. They'll take that one. That was a little short from Gonzalez that time. Australia can look to break on the other end. They're off to the races. Davoli is there, but no, ball is intercepted by Gomez. Now Colombia can come up the other way.
Yeah, and Gomez has some great speed as well. I don't think people expect her to be as quick, but she's definitely one of the fastest players on that Colombian side and probably throughout the tournament as well.
Yes, Gonzalez has it now. Matheson gets a hand on it. Ball does go out of bounds. Colombia will keep it, but they only have 8 seconds on the shot clock. Ball's in. Joannes in to Alvarez there. Really unfriendly bounce.
I think that's been quite a common story between, Colombia, Angola, and the other teams that played Thailand. They just haven't had the friendly bounce for whatever reason. They've had the shot opportunities, they've just not had that role.
Yes, Monroe Cook gets it on the other end. But, I mean, as this tournament goes on, and they get used to the basket, I think we'll see that shot fall.
I think that proves that they're just not used to these shabby baskets. The glass is different. Being a baller yourself, backboards and depth perception does create a lot of difference with how you do adapt your shot technique.
Oh, great pass there from Gomez into Gonzalez, but can't get that one to fall. Australia can look to break. And easy does it. Lara DeVoe, easy as anything, just soft lay in that time. So just around 5 minutes left to go in this third quarter. Australia have the lead. Alvarez. Some slight miscommunication on that one, so ball does bounce out of bounds. So Australia will look to get a score on the other end. Matheson into Monroe Cook, and Monroe Cook sinks that one. And that connection, we have seen that all day between those two.
Yeah, you can definitely tell they are the veterans of this Australian side, featured in many of the teams over the last few years.
As Barreto just waits for teammates to catch up. Barreto, round to Gomez. To Gonzalez. Little short that time. Had the space though. And ball's loose. Australia do come up with it, and Dodd will look to push. Dodd finds Monroe Cook. Monroe Cook takes the time on that one, and another one to her total. 21 points in the game for Georgia Monroe Cook. Big, big performance.
Yeah, considering she sat out for a bit of the second quarter as well, to still have that many points on the board. As Gomez just had to get that one up there. She thinks she was falling, maybe looking to draw the foul, but we'll see some substitutions for Australia as Caitlin Gunn will check back into the game alongside Taisha Ovens and Ebony Stevenson. Let's see what they can bring to the table. Stevenson has it. Stevenson has some space. Isn't thinking about the shot though. She'll
attempt to pass it to Divoli, but it was intercepted. They'll keep possession though. Shot clock winding down now. Doesn't get it to fall. Alvarez will push. Alvarez in the corner now. Finds Gomez on the top. Gomez. Gonna have to get something up here. And she does. That one's short that time.
You can see her frustration as well with her teammates. She's pretty much a one-woman band having to do the ball handling and then taking the shot. If they could just set a simple cross pick at the top of the key and hope potentially free her up to get an easier shot off.
Yeah, I mean, credit to Australia's defence for making it so difficult for them to do
100%,
that.
yeah, there's been a huge improvement from the first half to the second half with Australia's defence. Combine the two words there into one word.
Make a new word, why not?
That's all right.
There's Monroe Cook. Just really the perfect shot on that one. Saw the net just come up perfectly. Monroe Cook is cooking at the moment. Gomez. Great cut inside there by Bretto. Doesn't get it to fall, but Alvarez after it. They'll get a new 14, and no, ball does go out of bounds. So Australia will have it. But, I mean, it's that hustle that the Colombia have played with all game, isn't it? They've really started giving up.
Yeah, they've had great hustle, great determination to compete with Australia this afternoon. And they've also had some really good opportunities, you know, lay-up opportunities. They've just not dropped. But I do think it's more of a case of they're just not used to these backboards. They do need a softer touch. Quite a lot of their shots have kind of pinged off the wrong side of the backboard.
Yeah, pass around there to Houston. Houston, oh, ball's loose. And backcourt violation is called, so Colombia will get an opportunity now. So, just under 2 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Colombia looking to get off the mark in this second half. As Gomez has it. Gomez looking for a pass. Finds Barreto. Barreto will take that one. A little too heavy that time. Stevenson protects it for Australia. Over to Ovens. Ovens, long pass over. Tries to find Divoli. A lot of hands on it though. And Gomez can look to capitalise. Gomez. Settle on the shot that time. Had the line on it. Just
didn't drop in for a favour. Story of the game, really, if their offensive game, really great opportunities, they just haven't had that role.
There's a pass inside now to Houston. Again, unfriendly bounce that time. Alvarez can look to create. Alvarez will slow things down now. Less than a minute to go in this quarter. Barreto hands it off to Alvarez. Alvarez finds Gomez. Gomez into Quinto, but shot clock violation is called. And I mean, the Australia defense again.
Yeah, definitely an improvement from the first half, and they definitely pushing the team outside of the key with some great pressure.
So Divoli kicks it to Houston. They can look to use the clock here a bit. 6 seconds between shot and game clock. Stevenson finds Ovens. Ovens gets that one to drop. As Colombia can look to get a quick one off now. As that will do it for this third quarter of action. So Australia just able to extend their lead. They came out that quarter. Not only were they able to extend their lead, they were able to restrict Colombia's scoring. Much more effective defensively from Australia.
Yeah, it's not, obviously they score more points in the first quarter than the third, but it does look like a much better display of the basketball that we all know Australia can play, both offensively and defensively.
So yeah, teams now just got about 2 minutes just to talk things over, as we won't hear from Colombia this time. Won't hear any timeouts. But take a look at some of the stat leaders. I mean, Australia have been dominating, but for them it is no one over there. Georgia Monroe Cook, who has been cooking out there today. She's on 23 points, 52% from the field, alongside 4 rebounds. And let's listen in to Colombia.
Ey, bajamos el ritmo de la defensa. Vamos. Vamos. Listo, vamos por el último. Vamos. Además que las que toman el turno es una sola. Le trabajan a una sola. Colombia. Vamos, China. Vamos a meter aunque sea 6, 8 puntitos.
And one thing I've liked about Colombia is, you know, the head coach, Oscar Munoz, he's just so enthusiastic, isn't he? No matter what's happening out there.
And I think he knows as well, like, the level of what his team are currently at. He's probably not naive to know that they are competing against some higher ranked teams within the world and within, you know, Europe and different continents. So for him, it's how can he keep his team positive? They're definitely still not giving up. They're giving 100% effort and fight. And that's all you can ask for when you are struggling with the scoreboard not going in your favour. They've done some great things defensively, they've done some great things offensively. The ball's just not dropping in for them.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, isn't it? Because they did all the hard work, but just not able to finish at the rim. So, final quarter play here in Guadalajara. Spanish is getting better as the day goes along.
Goes on.
I'll be fluent by Thursday. But it will be Colombia ball to start off this quarter. Final quarter of action here. As Alvarez will have it on the wing. Finds Gonzalez on the opposite side. Shot clock winding down.
Great
Balls.
defensive pressure there by Stevenson.
Yeah, I was going to say, ball's tipped out of bounds there. Which is
Really
unfortunate.
Yeah, absolutely. Jinx. Really unfortunate there by her, but fantastic to get that steal. And she'll just have to do it again.
Yeah, but Colombia will now have 5 seconds to get something off here. Let's see if we can get a good look. As you can see just how intense all the players play. I mean, the ball's not even in play and players are just ready.
Absolutely.
This ball's in. Oh, apologies. There will be a 14, fresh 14. And a foul is called. So Colombia will get another 14 now. They'll get it from the baseline. As Gomez has it. Finds Gonzalez on the opposite wing. Gonzalez inside to Gomez. Gomez can't get it to drop that time. But Bueti will clean it up. And Australia can look to capitalise. Ball's loose. Australia do come up with it though. And Leitu has it. Gives it to Houston. Can't get on to drop. And foul is called on the other end.
Stevenson's out of her chair again. I think it's 3 or 4 times she's managed to tip herself out of her chair today. But she does have the ability to get herself up easily, so it's not doesn't waste too much of the game's time.
Yeah, it's Colombia now can look to, okay, never mind. I think
Just making sure she's dropped in. Yeah.
So I think everything's okay now, so the game will continue. And Colombia will look to push. Gomez over to Alvarez. Alvarez has it down low. Finds Gomez at the top. Gomez will settle on the shot. That time, that one's nothing but net. Gomez just as perfect as anything out there. Gladys Gomez.
She's doing absolutely fantastic. She has got a lot of talent for that team. She just needs a bit of support out there to take a bit of pressure and load off her. She is ball handling, assisting and scoring. But yeah, great job.
Yes,
By her.
Stevenson will control the ball. Finds Buetti on the top. Long pass over to Stevenson. A little too heavy that time. It's cleaned up by Houston. She'll get it up. Doesn't drop. Colombia secure the ball. They can push. Have to get the ball over here. Gomez managed to get it over now. Alvarez, foul's called this time. This time it'll be on Australia though. So Colombia can reset. They've got 15 to get something off here. Alvarez. Inside to Quinso. Foul's called. She'll take a trip to the line. 2 shots for her. First one can't fall. Can't get the second. Ball didn't hit the rim, so ball will be taken from the sideline. Now we'll see some substitutions for Colombia as Duenas checks back into the game. And Quisino will take a seat. So, just under 8 minutes left to play in this ball game. This ball is a fumble there, goes out of bounds. Colombia will have it. Australia do lead. Colombia just looking to chip into that Australia blanket that they've sort of created.
Yeah, they had a great second quarter as well, and we did speak during the half-time break that we did think they were going to come out a little bit stronger in that third, and obviously now into the fourth, for them to only score 2 points this half. Again, doesn't necessarily reflect the effort that they have put in this afternoon into the game.
Yeah, maybe, maybe the fatigue's gets them. There's only 9 players on that Colombian side. Stevenson zips it over to Buetti. Buetti out to Houston. Houston will settle on that one. A little too heavy on that. Colombia can push on the other end. Alvarez. And a foul called that time on Leitu. Just a little bit late on that one was Leitu. And his team fouls. Australia are in the bonus. So Colombia will take a trip to the free throw line now every time there is a foul. So Alvarez could not look to chip into that Australia lead. First one's a little too short that time. Second is no good. Houston grabs the rebound over to Stevenson. Stevenson is pushing the ball. Colombia got a hand on it. Ball's loose, but Martin able to secure it. Out to Buetti. Can't get that one to drop. And Colombia will look to get some on the other end. Game is stopped though as Colombia player has fallen.
There'll also be an offensive foul as well on Colombia as she collided between the two Australian players. So Australia will get another possession.
So, Australia have it now. Can't get that one to drop, so Colombia can capitalize on the other end, but the ball's loose again. Australia managed to get a hand on that pass. Leitu can reset. Finds Stevenson. Stevenson doesn't fall for her, that one. And now Alvarez can push over to Gomez. Gomez zips it to Gonzalez. Gonzalez look in the basket. Good luck. Can't fall though. Houston. Over to Stevenson. Colombia do get the inception. Long pass there from Alvarez. Finds Gonzalez on the other end. Gonzalez nice and easy on the other side. Gets that one to fall as we see a timeout call by Australia. And we're going to hear from, we're going to listen in on Australia's huddle and see what they have to say in this timeout.
We've actually had some really good offensive looks. Like the ball's just not rolling, it's late in the game, etc., etc. But we still need to make sure that we still look for those shots. I don't want you to put it away. Just be just don't be careless with the ball. You're a tall player, hold it up. You don't have to get rid of it. You're strong, you can handle the ball. Eb, where are you? Great push today, you're done for the day. Good job, okay. Mez, you're going to come in, you're going to run a little pick and roll side with your best mate over here. This is how we're going to run it. We're going to get Lou to the top, Huey in this spot. Hey, Iz, I'm actually happy for you to sit out if you want a little bit of width. Where is this? Oh, sorry, mate. All right, a little bit of width just to look at the shot. So we're actually going to try and pick and roll with you guys. We want the ball to go to Lou first, then kick it to Marianne and Gunny and see whether you execute a pick and roll and go from there, okay? Let's finish it off nice and strong.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Right, good job, girls.
So just listening there into Australia huddle, listening into Jeremy Synott, telling them what to do. Just got 5 minutes, 30 seconds left in this ball game. So teams going back out now as Australia will have the ball out of this timeout. And it'll be Leitu with the ball. Leitu. Foul's called. Australia will keep possession. They'll have a fresh 14. Leitu has it. Waste no time, and that one a little too heavy that time, but Australia do get it. Boetti gets the rebound, finds Houston, and Houston sinks that one. Houston, we have a problem. Sinks that one, waste no time. As Colombia will look to capsize on the other end now. As great look there from Duenas. Nice easy lay for her, nice cut in. Great pass into her. Boetti, long pass to Leitu. Leitu back over to Boetti. Boetti has it. Line up for that one. Can't find the line though. As Alvarez will look to push. Over to Gomez. Gomez finds Alvarez inside, and foul is called. That one will be on Houston.
You're going to foul though, at least make it a good one. She definitely made her presence known there to the Colombian player.
Yeah, there's no point in giving out any soft balls, is there?
No.
But she will take trips to the line and have a chance to add on to their total. Can't get the first. Can't get the second, but Colombia will almost got the offensive on that one, but just an extra bounce out of bounds, too many. So Australia can capitalise. Just over 4 minutes left to go in this game. As Leitu will have it now. Boetti looking for some space. Over to Leitu. Leitu tried to find going down low, but Colombia do come up with it. Ball was tipped, but Colombia will retain possession. Alvarez. Over to Gomez. Gomez has some space. She has the lane. Will she use it? Yes, she will. She'll line up for the shot. Can't get it to fall. Almost gets her own rebound. But Boetti just says no that time. She's going to push for Australia now. Gun. And we'll see some substitutions in for Colombia and Australia. As for Colombia, we'll see Lady Gomez checking in. For Australia, it will be Tasha Ovens. Shot clock winding down. She's looking for some space. The pressure's on. Ball is tipped out of bounds though, so Colombia will go the other way now. Barreto has some space. Too heavy that time off the back iron. Leitu secures it. Leitu will push. Houston. Ovens. Back to Houston. Houston finds Boetti, but Gonzalez maybe just a little bit too aggressive out time. Foul is called.
Substitution as well now for Colombia.
Yep, as we see Criseno checking back into the game. A ball's in. Ovens has it. Ovens wastes no time line up. Little too short. Bounces off the side of the rim. So Barreto will look to find something for Colombia. Gomez. She fires that one and gets the friendly bounce in. And hopefully that can just spark some life into Colombia. As Ovens will sell things on for Australia. Boetti round to Houston. Houston fires, and again, Houston, we have a problem. Sinks that one, wastes no time. Nothing but net. And Colombia will look to answer. Barreto somehow gets that one over the long wingspan of Houston there. And Barreto just adding on to that Colombia total. As we see Boetti now on the other end, just Little heavy on that pass. Ball rolls out of bounds. And we will see some substitutions now for Colombia. As Angela Batista will check into the game. And just around 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go in this game now. Australia are up. And they'll just look to close out this game as Colombia have it. Barreto over to Batista. Batista looking for Criseno there. But ball does bounce out of bounds. So Australia will have another chance. Boetti. Over to Leitu. Leitu fires. Leitu! Leitu for 2 on that one. As Colombia look to answer back on the other end. Just under a minute left to go in this ball game. And it will be Australia possession this time. They can play the clock here. As Leitu fires little short that time. Did have the line on it though. Ball does go out of bounds, and Colombia will try and find some life on the other end. Duenas. Over to Criseno, and offensive foul is called. So Australia will have another opportunity here, and yeah, they can look to use the clock. Around 47 seconds left in the game. Boetti. Finds Leitu inside there. Really unfriendly bounce though. Tries to get a rebound. Can't get it as Batista will bring it up. Batista. Over to Barreto. Barreto looking for some space. She'll line up for the shot and she sinks that one. Nothing but net. Barreto, what a shot from her. In Australia now, they can either look to get the last shot of the game or they can look to dribble it out. As Leitu has it. Looks like she'll settle for that final shot. Can't find anything on that one. But that will be it for this matchup between Australia and Colombia. Australia come out on top, but Colombia did not make it easy, did not go down without a fight.
No, and they definitely had a stronger second half of that fourth quarter, scoring 10 points in the last 5 minutes. But again, as we've seen from all 3 games, the score from those 3 teams that have taken losses today doesn't necessarily reflect how much effort and how hard they have competed in moments with the other 3 teams. It's just about how they can build through fatigue, development, understanding of international basketball, and how they can grow now throughout the tournament and get better as the tournament goes on.
Yeah, so, I mean, as you say, it's only the first game of the day. Australia were able to come on top, but I mean, they've got plenty more days to see if they can improve. So for Colombia, it was Gladys Gomez who led the way. She had 10 points alongside 11 rebounds. Nice little double-double from her alongside 6 steals. She really put in a shift. And then for Australia, for them, it was Georgia Monroe Cook who led the way. She had 23 points alongside 4 rebounds. Big performance from her. So that is it for this third game of the day. Australia come out on top. Colombia fall short on this one. But for me, Ishania and Siobhan Fitzpatrick, we're going to take a break now. Make sure you come back later and you tune in for our final game of the day. Argentina playing France. But yeah, for now, it's goodbye.